were planning our trip to Ireland, there were things we both wanted to see, and then each of us had a bucket list item. There were some careful negotiations regarding these items. Chris wanted to play his first links golf course, but I wanted to stay in a castle. With careful planning, we managed to fit them both in. This week is my bucket list video, while Chris's golf video will post next week. We're in County Sligo, outside the town of Collooney. Welcome to Markree Castle. The entrance stair to the castle took our breath away. It was literally a red carpet welcome, lined with candlelit lanterns. We made our way up to the lobby, where we were greeted by name and told that we'd received a room upgrade. It was a midweek night, and there was nothing major going on at the castle that night. They ushered us up to room 6, the Francis Johnson room, named for the architect of the castle. So we are here in the Markree Castle, spending the night, and they have upgraded us to a deluxe room. This is our bed with the lovely velvet drape over it. We have a sitting area there, flat screen TV and dresser, and we have a garden view from our room. Isn't that beautiful? And here's our sunken tub, clawfoot tub with the garden view as well. I'm looking forward to using that one. Regular bath, which also has a garden view, of course. Heated towel holder and a shower. Couldn't ask for any better, could we? No. The details in the room were simply amazing. And out the window, we can see Rosheen, the official dog of Markree Castle, having a drink in the garden pool. I see she has a bandage on her foot, so she's apparently gotten into some kind of mischief. Well, that story's to be continued. In 1663, Markree Castle was not actually a castle. It was a small fort guarding the river. It was owned by the Cooper family, who, at the end of the 17th century, turned it into a manor. They were by far some of the largest landowners in this area. In the early 19th century, the Cooper family remodeled and expanded it under architect Francis Johnson to pretty much the state you see today. Seriously damaged during the Irish Civil War in the 1920s, it went largely unused for the next 30 years. In 1980, Charles and Mary, the 10th generation of the Cooper family to own the castle, renovated it into a hotel. Oh look, we're in the bar. Let's get a drink. I have to say, this was one of the most stunningly elegant bars I have ever been in my life. And that's not just the Jameson talking either. We asked if we could take our drinks outside and decided we'd stroll around the grounds and check them out. The views outside in the evening light were incredible. It was like a landscape painting. Hi, Pop. Hey, sweetheart. Come here. How are you? Oh, aren't you sweet? So this is Rosheen, the resident Irish wolfhound here at the castle, and she has quite a taste for alcohol, I guess. She came over and sniffed our Jameson and gingers. I guess a guest left a cocktail sitting outside last week, and when she stuck her snout in it to get a drink, she knocked the glass over. Then she cut her foot on the broken glass. That explains the bandage on her foot. Apparently it is so tough being a castle dog, isn't it? You just had to rest in your chair, huh? Rosheen has quite nice quarters. She has a fireplace, nice furniture, and even access to the garden. Now that is a dog's life, at least if you're a castle dog. She mixes well with all the guests and is mostly well behaved. What a great dog. We headed out into the garden to take a look at it, and everything was stunning. Now, the Cooper family in the early 1700s owned over 40,000 acres in County Sligo. In 1834, the owner built an observatory, which had the first cast iron telescope, and it had the largest refractor lens in the world at that time. In 2015, Charles and Mary Cooper sold the castle to the Corscaden family, making it the fourth property in their romantic castles of Ireland. So this is a crazy forest, and it's on the property of Markree Castle. It has all these crazy trees. A little altar there where you can have a ceremony and have guests. I see a little statue in the back. Sun's starting to set. We decided it was time to head inside to see a bit more of the castle before dinner. We found the butler's kitchen where they have a self-serve tea in the afternoons and wandered about. That's the great thing about not having anything going on in the castle. We were encouraged to have a run of the place. The dining room was the picture of elegance, and yet small enough to be intimate. You have to make reservations in advance, and it is a prix menu. We started with an amuse-bouche of savory cheesecake. So Chris's first course was a crispy pork belly with black pudding fritter. We chose a nice bottle of red to go with our dinner. And my first course was a roasted red pepper and tomato soup. So we have a palate cleanser in between first and second courses here. And it's a champagne sorbet with fresh strawberry. Very good. Now, the Irish are famous the world over for their fabulous beef. So Chris chose the Irish Angus filet with green peppercorn brandy sauce. Good?
Yeah. Very.
I had an excellent roast duck breast with confit bonbons. To finish, we had a plate of delightful bite-sized desserts. Taking one last look around, we ended our fairy tale dinner for the evening. I think it's time for a bath.
It is good to be clean. Soaking in a clawfoot tub in the castle.
Because we'd slept in a bit, at breakfast the next morning, we found we had the dining room to ourselves. Talk about feeling like you owned the place. The first course was an amazing spread. It included meats and cheeses, yogurt, cereal, beverages, and pastries to enjoy. Then we noticed we had company. It's Rosheen. She's come to tell us good morning. Or maybe to make us feel guilty. Then it was time to take a look at the menu and order our mains. So this morning, Chris is having French toast with crispy bacon. Has some fresh fruit on it. Isn't that lovely? And I am having the Eggs Benedict. And that looks lovely as well.
So I've never stayed overnight at a castle, and I was sure I was not a castle guy. After our stay at Markree, however, I've changed my tune. I am now a castle guy.
We can't say enough about the unparalleled service, the elegant setting, friendly staff, and the fairy tale ambiance of Markree Castle. But it was time to say farewell to our fantasy and this unforgettable place. We hope you enjoyed our video. If so, we would really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. Also, if you haven't seen our other videos, take a look. We'll post a new one every Wednesday. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.